think, would put his money on Argentina this evening as well. The two sides about to take the pitch here in Concepción. And team news for you in a moment, and there is some news tonight as well, particularly about the Argentine side. And indeed here we have the Argentina lineup, and two changes have been made by the coach Alfio Basile. Latore, big things expected of him in this Copa America. He has been left out, he's not performed, and they say his mind is on going to Fiorentina. That's where he's due next season. And Franco, he's due to go to Zaragoza, and he too has been left out tonight. Neither of them make the substitutes bench even either. So the two players brought in this evening are Leonardo Rodríguez, who has come on as a substitute and looked pretty good in the two matches prior to this one. And in defence, Carlos Enrique, he comes in place of Craviotto, and there's a place too for Gustavo Zapata. Let's have a look at the Paraguay lineup. No problems here for Carlos Quisa, the coach, and it's an unchanged Paraguay lineup. Relatively inexperienced, although two of those players, Sanabria and Neffa, did play against Argentina 2 years ago in the Copa when there was a 0-0 draw in the Maracanã Stadium in Rio. Well, I think Paraguay will probably settle for a 0-0 draw with Argentina here as well this evening. Those are their substitutes. But as we were saying, over the years, things have generally gone Argentina's way when these two sides have met. Indeed, Paraguay in the Copa have never beaten Argentina. And here is confirmation of that fact. 16 times they've met. Argentina have won on 13 of those occasions, lucky 13, 8 and 3 draws. They've scored 55 goals to 15. But of course, as we've seen throughout this competition, Argentina's record just goes on getting better and better and better. They've scored 276 goals in those Copa appearances. You never know with a side like Paraguay. We've got a Uruguayan official tonight, Senor Felipe, and the linesmen are from Bolivia and from Brazil. Our old friend Senor Wright is on the line this evening. Don Howe is with me. Game we've been looking forward to with great anticipation, Don.
That's right, John. Obviously, when you're in this league basis, the final 2 games in your group become very important, because everybody's going for that 1 more point or that 2 more points. And obviously these two teams are both in that situation tonight, because they've both got Chile on their shoulders all the time. I'm expecting a good professional game. I mean, we know what Argentina are like. They'll be patient, they'll keep it tight at the back, they'll play it around, and they'll hope that someone like Caniggia or this young lad Batistuta will do as they did against Chile, break through and score the all-important goals.
Have you been excited by Batistuta, Don? He's got the 3 goals and a particularly good one against Chile.
Yes, I have, John, because for me it's the first time in this competition that I've seen him play, and he's a good addition to this Argentina side. He makes some super runs off the ball. Obviously he can score goals. His record shows that, and he's good around the box. He's good at showing, playing 1-2s around the box. Very impressed.
So we're all set then in Concepción for Argentina against Paraguay. Remember, both sides are unbeaten. They haven't conceded a goal yet. Something might give, it might not give. It could end up at 0-0, of course. But at the moment, Paraguay lead the group because of their 6 goals to 0 differential. There is Mr. Wright, the linesman from Brazil. Argentina have scored 4 goals without conceding any. And of course, Peru have got their first points of the Copa this evening with that 5-1 victory that you've just seen against Venezuela. But here it is with Argentina against Paraguay, and certainly both sides wanting to cement their positions in Group A and make life even more difficult for the host nation Chile, because that's the one that both of them must have feared could well come through. Chile winning their first 2 games, 2-0 against Venezuela, 4-2 against Peru, and then coming unstuck with that 83rd minute goal from Batistuta against Argentina. Chile with just the 1 remaining fixture, of course. They play Paraguay in that final game back in Santiago. Well, a foot diving in there.
Well, the Paraguayans are pushing on, John. I mean, they're not folding back in their own half when they lose the ball. They're prepared to go and push on and fight the Argentinians, not let them play it out the back easy.
No, I think their coach will have got them fairly well organised and well motivated for this one. This is Carlos Enrique rolling the ball forward. It's his first appearance of this Copa America Championships. Interesting tonight that the coach Alfio Basile has brought in a very strong River Plate connection. He's brought in Carlos Enrique, who normally plays at left back. He's brought in Gustavo Zapata from River Plate as well to link up with Astrada, his clubmate in midfield. So he really is looking very much to the club way through.
Yeah, well, we've talked about this before, John. It's an easy way to get understanding at international level. There might be good players, but if you put a lot of individuals together, it takes a long time before you can get that team understanding. If you get a block of players from one club, obviously they're used to working off each other.
Caniggia, he was going through the middle. He now plays it wide for Batistuta, who'll get the corner kick. No, he won't. In fact, it must have just brushed. Yes, so you're right saying it brushed his bottom on the way past.
Yes,
it's a goal kick.
As he tried to get his cross, and it rebounded off the defender back into him. But it was a nice run of Batistuta. Here again, I was saying early on at the start, he does make some super runs off the ball.
He's got height on his side as well, 6'2", so he's imposing. He's got to be looked after.
Oh yeah.
And we've commented again about Caniggia and the runs that he makes, and he does run straight at people. As you say, sometimes Donny keeps his head down, and perhaps he isn't as aware as he might be, but he's always got to be looked at. And Argentina come again down this right-hand side with Basualdo. Checks. Little nick through. That looks like a foul on Caniggia, and a bad free kick for Suárez to concede there, literally on the edge of the penalty area. And this is where they will bring up Ruggeri, the centre-back, to try and get on the end of it. Goalkeeper Chilavert organising things on his near post, and the free kick will be taken by Rodríguez. Rodríguez winning his third cap tonight, the man from San Lorenzo. Much expected of him. Here's his free kick. And it was a Chilean head that got there just in time, and the whistle sounding free kick. And a Paraguayan head, I should have said. We've seen so much of Chile, we're getting used to them. It was a Paraguayan head, and it's the free kick to them.
Very dangerous free kick, John. Like you said, it looked as though they would play the ball to the far post to Ruggeri. But Rodríguez played it shorter for Simeone to come in through the penalty spot into the centre of the goal, and it just held above his head.
Neither coach has yet tasted defeat since he took over. Alfio Basile and Carlos Quisa with very good records indeed coming up to this Copa finals. And the ball now with Gabriel González. Throw in for Paraguay.
I think what Basile has done, John, is he's, like a lot of coaches and managers, he's built the team around a strong defence. You know, it's going to be difficult to score against Argentina, let's put it that way. And also he's changed their tactics. I mean, in the World Cup they were man for man and a sweeper. In this tournament, and since he's taken over all his friendly games, he's played a zonal back four.
Only 3 survivors, in fact, extraordinary in 12 months since those World Cup finals for Argentina. Ruggeri is still there, of course. Caniggia is still there inside. And Goycochea, the goalkeeper. Otherwise, it's a totally new look. And obviously no Maradona. Word on him today, by the way, that he's now sort of coming back into life. Back home in Buenos Aires, and there's talk that he might one day play for Boca Juniors again. He's showing a bit of an appetite. He's doing some training. He's playing a lot of squash and running in the parks.
Well, the break is this enforced break he's having might do him the world of good. It might create his enthusiasm again for the game.
Yeah, it's such a loss. Wonderful player.
Yes,
no question about that.
World class, absolutely world class.
Taking some hammer over the years. Paraguay are on the ball with Suárez. Trying to get on the outside of Batistuta, rather theatrically losing out. And the referee agreed with him that Batistuta had been the wrongdoer there.
Well, he closed the defender down well, and as the defender tried to sidestep him, he started to use his arms and his hands. Well, obviously you're not allowed to do that.
Free kick then, which Suárez will deliver. One of the Olympia players from Paraguay, the top club side there, until Cerro Porteño took the championship this season. Olympia played in the Libertadores Cup final, and that's a woeful free kick. Haven't got that one worked out at all.
Well, I think they've worked at it, John, but it didn't work on that occasion. It's like all these things. If you practice a free kick, the players have got to have enough intelligence to say, well, will it work in this situation or won't it work? Have they got players in the areas which we're trying to exploit? And obviously the Argentinians had people in that left back position.
Well, 3 heads went up, none made contact. The ball might break here. Caniggia was onto it in a flash and he was brought down just as quickly. And the clutches his ankle, and the first yellow card of the evening is shown, and the referee, Senor Filippi, making sure he's stamping his mark on the match. The booking straight away is for Jacquet. So Argentina with a second free kick in a good position, good advantageous place for Rodríguez to take this one. Again, it's the little floater beyond the penalty spot this time, and Ruggeri did try to get there. It comes back into the middle to be claimed by Chilavert without any undue problems. And again, the Brazilian linesman not endearing himself to the crowd.
Yeah, but it was offside, John. I mean, on the free kick, it was aimed for Ruggeri. He didn't get the header in. It went to a player behind him who put it in the box, but the Paraguayans had pushed out, left the 6-yard box free, and the Argentinian left in the box as offside.
Paraguay coming towards halfway inside the Argentine half before they lose possession, and then it's going to be, well, it was going to be played all the way back, I fancied. That's a dangerous one. He's given it away to Caniggia, who tries to get on the outside of the defender, cuts it back. Lucky to escape with that, Paraguay. That was really poor defending. Shocking back pass, especially with somebody like Caniggia around, who can get by defenders. But on the other hand, Paraguay have a man taken out now, and that's just as bad a tackle. Jacquet, we know, has been booked. That was a couple of minutes ago, and for me, that ought to have been one too.
Yes, both similar situations. I mean, the Paraguayan player, he got good control of the ball, he went back and he couldn't get turned, so he decided to pass it back to the goalkeeper, and he underplayed it. Now, this incident here, the forward just gets his toe there first. The defender's boot comes in as he's knocked the ball on, and obviously it struck his ankle.
But we didn't see a yellow card shown for that one. However, Paraguay have the free kick. I think it was Basualdo who committed the foul. And here we have it. Well, he tried to sneak it through. That's the side netting, it's brushed, and it came off Goycochea first. Didn't look the best attempt in the world, really, but Goycochea getting down just managed to get a nick on it before the ball was carried into the side netting. Here we see it again. He bends it around those 3 defenders in the wall. Well, I suppose it was a fair idea, trying to catch him out.
Yeah, he was trying to catch him off his line, John, and just nip it into that near post.
And the free kick, the corner is Paraguay's, and that's nicely tucked back. That was a clever little move. That one nearly worked out for them. Instead, they have to come back and defend against Rodríguez, who's good on the ball. And goes on. And loses out once more to the defender. Whistle sounds yet again. Another free kick, won by Rodríguez this time. And Paraguay certainly not afraid to commit fouls outside their own penalty area.
Well, they're going to put their foot in, I'm sure. They've got a good record for the way they play. Good and solid, defend well.
Just under 10 minutes gone as Rodríguez takes the umpteenth free kick already in this half, and it's going to go beyond everybody, and the whistle will sound again against Argentina this time. Free kick to Paraguay. Yes, I remember seeing them in the World Cup finals in Mexico about 5 years ago, where they'd got some very inventive players indeed. They had a big centre-half called Delgado, who I believe I've seen on the bench here at these matches, and they'd got some pretty useful forwards. They drew 2-2 with Belgium, a match I particularly remember.
Yeah, well, if you remember, we played them, John.
Yes, indeed.
Just before we played Argentina and got knocked out. We won convincingly in the end, but it took a lot of hard work to get through them.
They had the brilliant midfielder Romero, of course, didn't they?
That's right.
Played in the United States. This is Basualdo for Argentina. Batistuta. Down he goes, writhing in agony. Grabs the ankle. Free kick, not much doubt about that.
Yeah, that was a silly tackle because Batistuta was going back towards his own goal anyway.
Well, let's have a look here. There's Basualdo, and just nudges it forward, and Batistuta taken out. And I felt that one.
It's a booking, really, because there's no need for that tackle.
And what's more, it was the same player who's been booked, Jacquet. Yes. He could well have been off after only 10 minutes or so.
Notice the referee had a good look at him.
Yeah, Rodríguez can't get it through this time, however. Paraguay attempt to come on the break. That's not going to find the mark, though. It's very rare those sort of passes come off.
When they do come off, John, they're lethal. Absolutely. When you can play that ball, that angle ball in behind the fullback for a winger to run onto it, it's a super ball. But like you say, kind of 9 times out of 10, the fullback cuts it off.
I was going to say it's 1 in 50, probably.
Yeah.
So, Goycochea's long clearance. That's yet another free kick, this time against Argentina. I think we're going to have a high count tonight. We've run out of fingers already. So Paraguay come down the right with Guirland, man who scored a goal in the last game against Venezuela. They won that one, of course, 5-0, which must have lifted their confidence no end. Having beaten Peru 1-0 in the first game, Paraguay. So they come here with a 100% record, as do Argentina. Argentina's progress a little more circumspect, maybe. They make progress now with Basualdo.
The build-up play off Basualdo was super there. He picked the ball up on the halfway line, played a nice little 1-2 to get himself forward, and then the final ball was not good enough. But his build-up play was good.
Well, we made the comment the other evening against Chile that the final ball was lacking on a number of occasions. Yes. And when a goal did come, really it was a flash of individual brilliance from Batistuta. Now it's Caniggia. And that's not going to be a particularly telling cross, although who knows, it's still coming to play again. Cleared straight up in the air, rather sloppily. Appeals here, not surprisingly. Rather telling looks there. There is our old friend Rogelio Delgado. He was a rugged centre-half, he was. And Rodríguez takes a free kick for Argentina. I think we've said that either 4 or 5 times already this evening. So the free kick, what's he going to do with this one? It's the clip again, towards the far post. Might still come, and that could well be another one again. Zapata down. Free kick awarded. And this referee is going to have his work cut out tonight, I'm sure.
Yeah, well, what's happening, John, is obviously both players are going hard for the ball, but the player with a little bit of pace, like Caniggia and that time Zapata, they're just nipping there and getting a toe in first, moving the ball on its way and then getting caught by the defender's leg.
The free kick wasn't given, but it is this time. And I think that our old friend Rodríguez might well take it. So yet again, Chilavert, who plays his football in Spain with Zaragoza. Has to marshal things in front of him, and Rodríguez will indeed try to find another way through, a different avenue maybe. Flat, and they've got it away once more. Well, that's a good ball out of defence, and that does give Paraguay a little bit of room and a bit of width to the attack. Good defending, however. It was Astrada who got across. It was. Football coverage from South America brought to you courtesy of Lucozade Sport in conjunction here with Screen Sport. The score: Argentina 0, Paraguay 0. Argentina, if anything, on top so far in the game. That isn't surprising. Now there's that ball inside the full-back again. In fact, it was inside Simeone, who appeals that it went out of play. It didn't, according to the linesman. He's the only one who matters, and Simeone does his job well and gets a goal kick. Paraguay haven't shown a great deal of inventiveness in attack as yet. No,
not really, but like you said, the ball, the pass there was a super ball. But why the play never went on? I mean, what he's got to do there really is get back across that defender and get into the byline for him to check, or if he checks, all that does is let the defender get goal side again.
No Franco in the midfield, of course, this evening, so it's a different looking Argentine side, with Astrada joined by Zapata. But Paraguay coming again on the attack, and well, not afraid to try his luck, but from that sort of distance he's got to be stronger than that to beat a goalkeeper of Goycochea's class. Goycochea winning his 18th cap this evening. He's played in all 9 of the games since Basile took over as the coach. And of course, if Alfio Basile did manage to win the Copa America for Argentina, he'd do something that neither Cesar Menotti nor Carlos Bilardo managed. Because it's a long time since Argentina won the South American Championships. You've got to go back to 1959, and that's extraordinary. Rodríguez losing out in his tussle with the 2 men representing Paraguay, but it breaks, and then it's given away by Astrada. Great baggy shorts, those are Chilavert's. That takes you back a bit, Don.
I'm into fashion again, John. In France now, they're wearing the long shorts. I think Tottenham didn't go far.
Paraguay trying to work the ball away out of defence, doing so successfully. Suárez forward. That again looks as though it might have developed into a free kick situation. The referee waved play on there. Paraguay still in possession, holding it well without being able to do a lot with it. That was a good attempt, however, and a very important tackle won there. Carlos Enrique, his job he was brought in to do, and he did it exceptionally well.
He's a good player, Enrique. I mean, obviously he's got a job on his hands because he's got Cravotti. They're both kind of fighting for this left-back position, and they're both good players.
What an excellent tackle this one is. There he is. Carlos Enrique going for it, winning it, having the poise and the calm and the composure.
Well, he did well. He stayed with, at first. He didn't go and try and win it. He stayed with the forward and picked his time when to put his foot in.
Just a reminder, of course, that 2 sides from each of the groups qualifies for the final stages here, which is also played on a round-robin league-type basis. So only 2 of Paraguay, Argentina and Chile will qualify. Zapata has come off for a little bit of treatment, the referee advising him there is a touch of blood there, and of course those are FIFA requirements nowadays.
Yes, I think he's got an elbow in the mouth, John. There's a lot of blood around his nose and mouth.
The referee just coming to check that he's been patched up sufficiently well, and he's satisfied that he has. So Zapata continues. Played much international football, Zapata. Interesting swap that, and certainly Laterre has been disappointing in the 2 games played so far. We know he's capable of better, those who watch Argentine football on Screen Sport regularly.
Well, there was a big build-up for him before this tournament, that Laterre was going to be the new Maradona. But he was very disappointing, and then they brought this boy Rodríguez in to start with, who did fairly well. I mean, Laterre plays just behind Caniggia and Batistuta. Now Rodríguez is doing that.
And here he is, the lateral ball, and there'll be support from Carlos Enrique up the left if Simeone chooses to use him. Instead he finds Rodríguez again, who hammers a shot wide of that left upright. That's the first real shooting opportunity we've seen in the game, and Rodríguez slashing it wide of the left-hand upright, protected by Chilavert, but a good try.
Well, you can see he's sitting in the area, John, that's difficult to pick up. He's not playing up front, so a back 4 player can't pick him up, and he's not coming back into midfield either. So he can find that room in between the Paraguayan back 4 and the midfield players, and he'll pick up those shots. He'll pick up shots from around the D.
0-0 it is. Midway through this first half in Concepción. Basualdo moves down the right. Not to be confused with the Basualdo who played in Germany for Stuttgart. He'll now have to dash back and do a bit of defending as well, as Paraguay make progress with Neffa, one of the 2 survivors from the last meeting in a Copa America with these 2 sides. They drew 0-0 on that occasion, and I suppose the odds must be fairly high that this one could end that way too.
Well, I think, John, the pattern's fairly set now, is that for most of the time the Argentinians will be going to the Paraguayans, and they will only every now and again come on the break. You know, for most of especially this first half, they're going to be solid defence, the Paraguayans, don't give a thing away. and it's up to the Argentinians in this situation to break them down.
If it were to end goalless, of course, Argentina would be quite happy. They'd have played 3, and they would have the 5 points. Paraguay would be quite happy as well. They'd also have the 5 points, but their final game is against Chile, so they've got the tougher proposition on their hands. Argentina still have to play Peru. Free kick for Argentina. They've won their 2 matches so far, 3-0 against Venezuela and 1-0 against Chile. That late goal from Batistuta. They're looking for their first goal of this night, however, at this free kick, which is slithered out here to Basualdo. The one end is looking for Batistuta, who was doing a bit of pushing. And not surprisingly, the whistle sounds once more. Free kick for Paraguay. Paraguay, of course, winners of the Copa back in 1953 and in 1979.
I think one of the best things about this league system, John, is that you don't get these penalty shootouts. You know, it's the points or the goal average that takes you through. There's no such thing as a penalty shootout at some time in a semi-final or in a final.
Which end up inevitably embarrassing for one particular player. That's the awful thing about them. 13 fouls by both sides in the game so far. Going to go out of play, is it? No. Paraguay coming in, making good progress down the right-hand side. Now, a good ball laid in here could have Argentina backpedaling a bit. Well, he had the right idea. One man was making a move inside the penalty area.
That was Neffa, John. He makes some lovely angle runs across that 6-yard box, across the D on the edge of the box. He's making those runs all the time.
An irony there, Caniggia actually got his foot in, won the ball and deflected it straight to a Paraguayan player, moving forward into the attack. But here they come in a more attacking guise themselves. Argentina with that man, Claudio Caniggia, who had such a good season in Italy with Atalanta. Falls down on that arm. Now, he broke his arm last season, but appears to have made a total recovery from that. It's not in his mind at all, that's for sure. Caniggia, who's got 1 goal in these championships so far, and he's won yet another free kick here, which Basualdo looks as though he's going to take this time, so Rodríguez leaving it to him. Slightly more experienced, Basualdo winning his 9th cap. Rodríguez winning his 3rd tonight. Basualdo then, what can they do with this one? Chilavert will hold on to that. And that wasn't really what they were looking for again.
Yeah, the keeper did very well, John. His starting position was a good position, and he came out and dealt with the free kick, the cross from the free kick.
There's the one forward, and giving chase is Luis Monzón. Gustavo Neffa claiming the corner kick. Neffa, of course, played in these championships 2 years ago when he was a mere 17-year-old, a real stripling. And has come on, obviously, still in the side at 19 now, scoring a few goals too for his country as the corner comes in. Those are good corners to this near post. They've taken a couple already, which have had them in a bit of disarray.
Well, that's right. What they're doing, John, is they're driving them in, they're coming in 5 foot, 6 foot high. One player's making a dive into that near post, and obviously he's just got to get a flick. There it is, driven in. Look, there goes the player. It can go anywhere. And obviously the goalkeeper can't do a thing about it. I mean, he's just a spectator in that situation, and any deflection flies by him. He doesn't even see it.
From the boot of Goycochea then, up towards the halfway line. Paraguay come again with Luis Monzón. Just going to say we've not seen much of him. Here he is, however, the man who's been getting the goals for Paraguay in these South American Championships. And this is going to be a real long-range effort. Well, about 1 in 200 of those goes in.
Yeah, well, I suppose you give him a little bit of credit for having a go. Like you say, you've got to get your head down there, and you've got to get on top of the ball.
Don Howe didn't get many of those from right back then.
No, I'm afraid not. Mine was always clearances that were well over the top of the bar, I'm afraid.
There must have been one that went under, Don. Again towards the halfway line from Goycochea. This time it does fall to an Argentine boot, a little more handily. Basualdo here. One or two scrappy phases of the game, that's for sure. Batistuta now in possession for Argentina. 25 yards out. Well, Paraguay's, to their credit, closing down and coming in quickly, and they weren't quite watching what they were doing there, which is why the opposition were able to pick it up. It's Caniggia, however, this time. Out by the right touchline, pursued and harried and pushed. Still Argentina in the possession with Basualdo. Good ball forward. Here's a chance. Rodríguez side netting. There might well have been a whistle too. I thought so. There, our old friend Senor right. Yes, it was a nice move.
Yes, it was a good move. He found himself some space in the box. But as he was just offside there.
It's difficult to tell from the angle we had, wasn't it?
He goes forward now, and then the ball's played forward.
Yeah. Interesting, because there was a man round about the edge of the penalty area in the centre.
But although he was offside, he should have still been playing that ball across the face of the 6-yard box, rather than shooting from that angle.
Still, I would think that Paraguay will be reasonably happy. They've contained Argentina. There's only been one real shot on target, and it's still 0-0.
Well, it's a big game for them, John. I mean, and I don't think many people have given them a chance.
No. They might be better than people have given them credit for. Who knows? We shall find out within the next hour. Basualdo treading on the ball, nearly presented Paraguay with an opportunity, and left man there to cause a bit of a flutter as Enrique passed it back to Goycochea. Again they favour the right-hand side. Rodríguez winning his personal tussle and then giving the ball away. That wasn't what the coach brought him in to do. On the other hand, it's not surprising that he's made changes. We've said before that Latare didn't really make an impact. Franco also left out. And that's too far ahead of Caniggia.
Also to take into consideration, John, is that, you know, you've got a few games coming up. Do we rest players? Do we leave a player out here and leave a player out there and save him for the next game? So
in association with Adidas, the South American Championships coming to you live here on Screen Sport. It's 0-0 between Argentina and Paraguay in Concepción. A circuit of goals in the first game played here this evening, with Peru bagging 5 against Venezuela's 1. That really has, well, given Peru just a glimmer of a hope, because their goal difference now has improved considerably, obviously. They have their first points, and were they to inflict a defeat on Chile, well, they would think that they would have just a glimmer. But really, you imagine that the 2 to go through will come from these 2 sides plus Chile. Zapata, he's just stayed onside as Caniggia. He might get a telling crossing this time. He might not. Straight against the legs of the defender. Jacquet, who is booked in the early phases of the game, so it's a throw-in from Basualdo. Simeone, and straight into the welcoming arms of goalkeeper Jose Chilavert. Yet to concede a goal, of course. Yeah, it was a nicely hit volley. John, they couldn't get into the box on the cross, pulled it back just outside the box. Quarter of an hour to go. And down on the Paraguayan bench, a few anxious looks. But their coach, Carlos Quisa, hasn't tasted defeat as yet. They did meet these 2 countries back in 1966 in the World Cup qualifiers, before eventually Argentina came over here, of course, to England. And again they met in 1974, but Paraguay didn't win any of the 4 meetings. Argentina won 2, 2 were drawn, and it's Ruggeri who gets it out. Further out from Astrada, but picked up in midfield well for Paraguay. Carlos Enrique's header. And Basualdo. Good technical skills here. Basualdo given the ball back Zapata not really justified his selection as yet, but he's managed to find Caniggia this time, and the ball laid off for Rodríguez. This is a good move. And, well, it was the pass in from Batistuta which threatened, but once more Paraguay had a defender, Cristaldo, there to do his job and see the ball away to safety.
It was a triangle, John. It was the Batistuta, Caniggia and Rodríguez just sitting behind them, playing the ball off each other and making runs.
Well, they're happy enough. You'd think they were leading 3-0, wouldn't you? It's 0-0 here. But Paraguay's progress to this stage so far has been highly satisfactory, no question about that. They've beaten Peru 1-0, they've beaten Paraguay 5-0. And here they are unbeaten against Argentina, the pre-tournament favourites. Here's a header on, which is well dealt with again. Oh, that's good skill. That's beautifully done by González. In fact, it was Monzón. Has he got the pace to get past Simeone here? Well, if it comes off the Argentine, it will be a corner, but he's showed good skill once more to work that ball away, and it will be a throw-in for Argentina. Simeone's he gets about a bit.
Yeah, he works well down that left side. He can play both sides. He can play kind of left midfield, or he can play right midfield. I mean, tonight he's playing left midfield. Zapata's come on the right side. They play diamond shape in midfield, John. Astrada just sits in front of the back four. On his right he's got Zapata, on his left he's got Simeone, and then they've got Rodríguez just in front of them.
Paraguay outside the Argentine penalty area, free kick given, but against Paraguay. And Ruggeri, the captain, who's taken over from Diego Maradona, wearing the captain's armband, number 6. You just got a glimpse of him there. Generally marshalling things very well indeed. He's a good choice as a captain, I would have thought.
He's a good player, John. I mean, he makes the job look easy as a defender. He reads it well. He knows when to put his foot in. He knows when not to dive in. Doesn't get caught on 1-2s. He's a good player.
He's also a winner, of course. He won the Spanish League title with Real Madrid in the 89-90 season. He just gets sent off occasionally, twice against Uruguay in the last Copa.
He's a good competitor.
Here come Paraguay. It's their turn to come on attack. Just outside the Argentine penalty area, invitingly rolled back, not finished off. There's the player who hammered in the shot, Carlos Guirland. Celebrating a 23rd birthday next week. He'd love to have celebrated with a goal there. We've only had one goalless draw so far in the championships, but it's 0-0 at the moment. Chances few and far between, as I think you would have expected. I don't think anybody was ever going to romp away with this one.
Well, obviously, there's before the game, I mean, they've both done their homework. They've seen each other play twice, and the coaches have been at the games, and obviously they've looked at tapes.
That was Zapata winning it.
And under those circumstances, they're not going to give anything away, are they?
No. So the throw-in taken for Paraguay by Jacquet. The man who was booked early in the game. The only booking so far. Straight up in the air from Zapata. Batistuta coming back and trying to win it as we move into the closing stages of this first half here in Concepción, with Paraguay giving as good as they're getting. 0-0 against Argentina. Caniggia, every time he wins it, he just simply sets off like a greyhound out of the trap.
Well, he's so quick running with the ball, John. I mean, most dribblers, it's change of direction, but not him. It's pure pace. It's pure knocking the ball past the defender, and with his pace, going past him. Very difficult to deal with as a defender.
Well, and there is no substitute for pace, is there? Here's Batistuta. Very much the hero in Argentina, of course, at the moment, Batistuta, after that winning goal against Chile 2 nights ago. They said that he was above the rest in the headline in the local papers there. He was the top man, in other words, and there's a rolling defender, and there's a yellow card. So the second one of the evening, and they've now been shared out equally. And there is the man who incurred the wrath of the referee. It's Vázquez. He got booked against Chile, and this is why he's got booked here tonight against Paraguay.
Well, there again, you see, he's so late. I mean, his legs out virtually straight, and he's so late. I mean, the players kind of just sidestepped him and leaving him on the floor, and he's just took his feet.
Well, those are the ones where a bad injury can occur.
Oh, yes.
Guirland, I think it was lucky to escape from that without worse injury. However, here come Paraguay with González, another of the Olympia players in the side. That's going to be an Argentine throw-in. Taken by Basualdo. That time Batistuta wasn't able to control it. Zapata, however, did, and now Rodríguez. Moving around a little now, moving out to try his luck down the right. Throw by Zapata straight against the legs of his own man Astrada, who now has better possession and is able to ply that ball forward. Not to any great effect, however, easily intercepted by Rivarola. Confirmation of the booking of Vázquez there for you. It is interesting that by our count Astrada was booked in the first 2 matches, but he's out here again this evening, and that's the second player that's happened with. Whether they've adopted some local rule or not, it suggests that players could stay on no matter how many bookings they get in this tournament. I'm not sure. Here is Simeone of Argentina, taking the ball back from Carlos Enrique, giving it to Astrada. Enrique now, very much a River Plate affair down that left-hand side. Clearance is good, well effected. Paraguay coming forward and trying to get a lot of men forward. An important ball won by Ruggeri, just took out that left leg. Astrada knocking it down, coolly played away to Simeone. Argentina extricate themselves again and come on the attack. Rodríguez, yes, brought down from behind again. And the free kick count mounts.
I don't think the public are very happy with this game, John. I think it's a stop-start game. It's a very frustrating game to watch when it gets like this, and
especially, I suppose, coming on the heels of a 5-1
there's nothing to get you excited.
So many chances. No,
that's right. There's nothing to get you excited. There's nothing to lift you off your seat.
No, there really hasn't been as yet. And perhaps there will be now. Argentina, on the other hand, they might not. A rather woeful header wide from Batistuta. No, it's because one side is probably adopting a rather negative approach and the other one is just sort of going forward, hopefully, rather than really taking it by the scruff of the neck.
Well, they're not I mean, the Argentinians are obviously they are super professional, but they're not the greatest team going forward. You know, they've got their fingers crossed that someone like Caniggia can do a bit of magic.
Right. Or Batistuta, or Rodríguez, and here is Batistuta. Funny you should just mention him. This could be it. It is. He does it again. And no wonder they love him back in Buenos Aires, because Gabriel Batistuta just has that knack of producing the unexpected. He gets into a position, and whenever he does, he finishes it off. You always fancy him when he gets into these situations. Lovely back flick to him, mind you.
Well, it was, but he did very well there. I mean, he had to accelerate on the outside of the defender to get into a shooting position, and then he tucked it away. It was a lovely flick. I'm almost certain it was Rodríguez again.
It was Rodríguez, and it's the perfect thing to happen for the match, because Paraguay now simply have to come out and do something.
Got to come out and play, yes.
1-0 it is to Argentina, and Batistuta's 4th goal makes him the leading scorer in Copa América 1991. He moves a goal ahead of Luis Monzón of Paraguay and Ivan Zamorano of Chile. And Batistuta, without question, has become the darling of these championships and of the Argentine fans. and he has got a masterly touch around goal.
He knows how to finish.
He knows how to celebrate.
I mean, his goal against Chile, it was a similar goal, and he went on his other side, where he picks a ball up and you can see the space past the defender on the side of the defender, because all you've got to do is that you need to make half a yard and then get your shot in.
Let's have a look at this. Oh, yes, he did dive in a bit, didn't he? He showed the studs there. And this time the trainers are out. Not quite sure whether there was a booking or not, but the referee has booked two players, one only a couple of minutes before, and sometimes that automatically leads to the next booking. And it might well be on this occasion too. Here he is. That was the one that missed Caniggia, and that was the one that didn't miss.
Well, that boy's a big, strong boy. I'm almost certain it's Rivarola. And he really puts his leg out and gets his foot in.
But I think the suffering player will be all right, that man being Astrada. Psychologically now, that's a great lift for Argentina that Batistuta has given them. Crippling blow for Paraguay, have contained Argentina reasonably well for the bulk of the half, and now going maybe a goal down. Because of that man in the left of your picture, Gabriel Batistuta. 13 goals, Batman they call him in Argentina, 13 goals he procured in the Argentine season, but even more important, he's got 4 for his country, and he's only winning his 4th cap tonight. It's Gary Lineker proportions, is that?
I don't think it'll be long before you see him in Europe, Jim.
Good point. Paraguay come themselves, the ball bobbling around down that right-hand side as it's pursued by Peralta. It was Rivarola, well spotted, Don.
He's a big, strong boy. I mean, he does like to put his foot in. I mean, I think he fancies taking on these Argentinians.
So Rivarola and Jacquet, both booked on the Paraguayan side. And I think both justifiably too. Here come Argentina again. When they get the bit between the teeth, they look far more interested and attractive side. They do rely to such a large extent, though, on Batistuta and Caniggia.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Caniggia, I mean, when he does that, what he does I mean, John, everybody knows Caniggia picks the ball up and he runs at defenders. But when he mixes up and plays a 1-2 in his run, so that they don't know whether he's going to run at them or he's going to play a give and go, geez, he's a handful to take care of.
This fella is too, Rodríguez. He's quite a handful. That's going to be a free kick against Mr. Batistuta, however. Foul on Cristaldo. That's the 20th foul in this first period. There's just a minute of the half remaining. And it looks as though Argentina are going to go into the break a goal to the good. Thanks to Batistuta, but they have to defend now to Argentina. Paraguay coming forward and the ball out by Astrada. But Argentina do get involved sometimes in unattractive matches, and the crowd was certainly letting them know just before that goal.
Up to the goal, it was a very ordinary game, John. And the goal, especially with the way it was took, has lifted the thing a little bit.
It has indeed. From Guirland, it goes back to Peralta. Paraguay trying to make inroads, and they've got a free kick against Carlos Enrique, it was. So Goycochea with a bit of work to do in the remaining seconds of the half, and there aren't many left. They tick away as Paraguay look to get back on level terms from this free kick. They've no real height in there, however. That's one of their problems, and that's going to be claimed. It's Carlos Enrique who doesn't want to give it to Goycochea, apparently. He's got the confidence to take it away, play it forward. Batistuta, they were looking for a handball, it wasn't forthcoming. He puts this one inside. Caniggia brought down 5 yards outside the area, and trouble here with Batistuta. And that defender, Cristaldo, really, Caniggia just went like a bull out of a gate again there, but if he'd slipped it to his right, you'd have fancied a second goal.
Yeah, well, that's when you can be critical of him, John.
Yeah, that was the time to give the pass.
That's right. You know, he obviously his strength is running at defenders, like we said. But if every now and again he'd lift his head and look for players, especially his teammate or his playing partner up front, if he looked for Batistuta a little bit more often, he could just slide in. I mean, he makes some super position, Batistuta. I mean, he stays up with him, and half the time it's just a little square ball.
It's got to be said, it could well have been 2-0 then, and you wouldn't have fancied Paraguay to come back from that. Not in 45 minutes. Because I don't think they've really troubled Goycochea at all in the first half, apart from 2 well-taken corners. It's a free kick here for Argentina. We've moved into stoppage time in the first half. Zapata is trying to block the view, I reckon, of those Paraguayan defenders by standing in front of them. Simeone's gone in there too. 4 players around the free kick, and not hot enough to beat Chilavert. So it stays 1-0. And the referee blows a long blast on the whistle to say it's half-time here in Concepción. Argentina, the pre-match favourites, are leading Paraguay by 1-0. The goal predictably scored by Gabriel Omar Batistuta, the Boca Juniors man who really can do no wrong at the moment. It's his 4th goal of these championships, and as a result, Argentina go away to the break leading by 1-0, and we will be back the second half after the break. Hello again, welcome back to Concepción. It's Argentina 1, Paraguay 0. And the female supporters in the crowd enjoying their little half-time drinks as much as we have been here. It's Argentina in the lead, as people might well have expected, and what a cracking goal, Don Hal, from Gabriel Batistuta.
Yes, it was, John. It was 3 players combining, really. Caniggia got the first ball. He played it in to Rodríguez, who got a nice little flick back through his legs.
Actually, it's Caniggia, isn't it? It's Caniggia, I think. Oh, it is Rodríguez, you're right, sorry.
And there goes Batistuta. He's made half a yard and slammed it in virtually to the goalkeeper's left-hand side. Lovely taking goal.
They're not unlike, all 3 of them up there, Batistuta, Caniggia and Rodríguez.
Yeah, well, they've all got the old long hair, Jim. And when they're in full flow like that, you can't, and it's so quick.
Referee coming out is Ernesto Felipe. I thought he was going to have a tough time early on. In fact, Wright, the Brazilian linesman on this occasion, who was a very experienced referee, of course, just having a word with him there. It did look as though it was going to be tough, but a lot of free kicks conceded, over 20 in the first half. Paraguay probably conceded more than Argentina, and that's unusual.
Well, he hasn't got excited, John, the referee. I mean, what we've seen in this tournament, the referees occasionally have got too excited. They've gone across, waving yellow cards and all this, as though this fella tonight, I mean, he's booked players, he's been calm about it and dealt with it, and I think it's because he's done that way that the players themselves, as the game went on towards the end of that first half, it all calmed down, and all the players knew was in control, and they've played better for it.
Word about this man, Oscar Ruggeri, captain. He's had an outstanding half. We're looking at the goal again here. But if Batistuta is the darling of the crowd because of his goal-scoring feats, you've got to say that Ruggeri is the man who really settles them down as the captain.
Oh, yes. He's the boss of the defence, John. You know, he's like Baresi at AC Milan. He's got all the experience. He reads it well. You know, all the players around him feel happy. He's going to be in control. He's going to be doing the controlling, the pushing and shoving and telling players where to be. And when you get a player like that, it's a terrific asset for a manager.
Well, just for the moment, we appear to have lost our pictures from Concepción. We're back happily with you now. That was a momentary lapse. But it is 1-0 to Argentina here against Paraguay. Man on the ball, Peralta, number 22. Made his debut against Bolivia back in June. He's winning his 5th cap tonight for Paraguay. Obviously, they've not got the experience of Argentina, although the coach has changed the Argentine side around. A lot of this team are very experienced footballers. They play at the top level, of course, every week.
That's right. John, I would think that the Paraguayans have gone into the dressing room at half-time and had a rethink. I quite like their two front players, Neffa and González, and especially with Monzón coming through from midfield. I think that's where they ought to start and try and get things going.
They've certainly got to change it a little bit, because I don't think they've got a shot in on goal particularly in the first half. They got a corner from a free kick, didn't they? But not from general play.
John, when you play against a zonal back four, the more angle runs you make, the more you will disturb that back four, because they just sit in zones, you know, and they hope that you'll sit there with them. But if you're prepared to run across defenders, then they don't know whether to go with you or hand you over to the next defender. Then you can start to create a few holes and get free from marking.
More sort of movement needed, more diagonal runs.
That's right. Neffa does it quite well.
Well, he's only a 19-year-old, Gustavo Neffa. Plays for Cremonese, of course, in Italy, so he's experienced. In fact, his side won promotion last season. On the other hand, there's a player out there this evening, Simeone, who plays for Pisa, and they were relegated, so he'll be playing in Serie B. Not a big crowd, of course, in Concepción, not as big as it would have been in Santiago, saying that too can affect players.
Yes, it can.
But Argentina happy at the moment. They lead by a goal to nil, scored by Batistuta, who is now the leading scorer once again in these championships. He's got 4, one more than anybody else. Coming forward for Paraguay, Suárez, the ball in. Knocked out, but only back to a Paraguayan player. Picked up in midfield by Sanabria. Vidal Sanabria, another one who played the last time these sides met in the Copa América 2 years ago in Rio. So this atmosphere very much different to the one they'd get in the Maracanã Stadium, that's for sure. Hello, here we are. And, Argentina 0, Paraguay 0. He was rather exuberant.
It looks cold there,
I should have said.
It looks very cold there. I mean, the crowd are all wrapped up. It's kind of a January day to me there. January in England, that is.
Friday night at the Hawthorns. Ball played back dangerously close to Caniggia, and Argentina snap it up anyway. That was Basualdo, forward to Batistuta, the goal scorer. And that time there were 3 of them crowding him out. His reputation will be spreading, Don. More of that in a moment, as Paraguay again can't find a way past this man. Inspirational he is too, although he's played them all out to a Paraguayan this time as Ruggeri. Cracked against the legs of the defender. This is Simeone. And well cleared this time by Vázquez. The one Argentine player to have been booked. It does indeed look a little bit cold. Late evening in Chile. And here, oh dear. Well, he seemed to get caught in 2 minds. And the ball eventually won back by Basualdo, who brings it forward for Rodríguez. He needed a better touch to get it into Batistuta's path. And it's Suárez for Paraguay. Straight against the legs of Carlos Enrique. Oh, good play here. Inside the area, solid tackle once more. I think I'll become a member of the Ruggeri fan club tonight after this performance. He really, and there he is again, he really has done everything tonight.
Well, there you see, he stepped in. I mean, he did that in the first half about 3 times where he... I mean, the Paraguayan right back really was, got through to the edge of the box, and he just stepped across, put his left foot out and won his tackle and moved out with the ball.
They look physically stronger, the Argentine players, than the Paraguayans. More of that in a moment too, and this time the tackle is good.
I think they are, John. I think, obviously, I think it's a lot to do with the quality of the football they're playing, week in, week out.
They just look bigger and stronger in everything they do. Carlos Enrique from River Plate, throw-in for Argentina, and now has been brought into the side in place of Craviotto, and he's had a fairly useful game. Not really been extended too much in defence, did one bit of good work in the first half, and enough Argentine bodies around there to win it. Rodríguez knocks it wide right. Basualdo On the ball for Argentina, clipping it forward. Here is Simeone. Nicely threaded through again. They do those little back flicks so well around the edge of the area. Simeone's shot, well, it might have won points in a rugby match. Not playing soccer, however. He's not really the best finisher.
No, but like you say, it's the little flicks that create the chances, and that's how the first goal came. What they do is they let it run kind of behind their first leg and just flick it back behind that leg into the run.
Something they've worked very hard at, the technique in training. Apparently the Argentines have been training 4 times a week since January. That's how seriously they take the Copa America. And here we see this little flick you were talking about.
Yeah, well, they run through the back of his legs, and then there he goes.
That man Rodríguez again.
You just open your stride, John, and just let it play off the... You just open your stride, and as it goes through to the right foot, you just play it back in behind your left foot.
Not the worst ball in, but Goycochea came from his line to claim it. The pass in was from Suárez, tonight winning his 4th cap. Played in the Libertadores Cup final. Olympia losing that, of course, to Colo-Colo from Chile. And the ball played straight. Are there many English players who you could imagine would do that, Don? The
those
little back
tricks.
flicks around the edge of the area?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So Argentina leading here in Concepción by that 1 goal, struck beautifully by Gabriel Batistuta in the closing moments of the first half. It's good enough to separate the sides, and Argentina won't mind if it stays exactly that way. They won't be bothered about getting a second goal particularly. They will be bothered if Paraguay get one back against them, and here's the chance! And right across the face of that area, the Argentine defender just managing to put Guirland off, and this is the best chance Paraguay have had. In fact, it's Guirland's cross in. And
it was a good cross, and to be honest, there was a push on the end of it.
Yes, there was.
I still don't think the forward had got his foot to the ball, but without a doubt, the defender pushed the forward who got in on the face of goal.
And I'm sure it will have had the object lesson there of getting the Paraguayan coach to shout to his players, come on, we can get in there, we can do it.
It's these type of balls that create goal-scoring chances.
There it was, Guirland with the ball in. Neffa trying to get in there. Well, looks as though there could have been a bit of a...
Well, there was definitely a push.
The referees have to be strong in all South American matches, and particularly on occasions like this one. Paraguay coming forward in numbers again. Argentina just beginning to look a little bit desperate, chasing and harrying as they are. Paraguay can hold their nerve here and stroke this ball around. They might yet get something from it. Not a bad ball in. Goycochea set off from his line and then checked. Zapata to clear it eventually, but out of play. Good pressure this from Paraguay.
Yeah, they're pushing people forward. John, the midfield players are getting around that D. And they're getting the ball wide and getting crosses in. I mean, we've seen 2 crosses now in the last 2 or 3 minutes.
Crowd getting behind them, although ironically I suppose the best result really for the Chilean crowd would be an Argentina victory here, with Chile due to play Paraguay in the last game. Chance of a ball in for Paraguay, but is knocked away by Rodríguez, and then it comes back to Paraguay, and they continue to mount the pressure. Neffa threading it through again. Here is the 3-goal man Monzón. It's not good enough. Easily cut out this time by Simeone, who has the onerous responsibility of wearing the number 10 shirt, the famed shirt that Maradona wore with such distinction for so long. There is Simeone. One heck of a job to follow on a player like that in the world's most favoured shirt, number 10.
Well, that's a booking Really, I mean, that's a tackle from behind that would, I mean, that can give a player a hell of a problem.
Well, this referee doesn't seem altogether consistent to me on bookings. There was one in the first half I thought he might well have administered when he didn't.
Yeah.
Free kick here for Ruggeri to take for Argentina, who lead by 1-0. Now it's Carlos Enrique of River Plate. Never got...
I think what happens, John, is if he keeps getting his yellow card out and getting his yellow card, I think he himself thinks to himself, well, I can't keep doing this. I'm going to have to let one go every now and again.
Yeah, or else produce a red one. That's a free kick as well. In the first half, we had a number of bookings. Jacquet was the first in the book on the Paraguayan side. Vázquez followed him for Argentina. And the other player booked was Rivarola. Free kick Argentina. Now Rodríguez took many of the early free kicks in that first half and then handed over the responsibility. He takes that one to no good effect at all. And it just gives Neffa the chance to break here for Paraguay. From Caniggia, laid back for Carlos Enrique. He was very left-footed, of course. Paraguay able to come across and cover, and the clearance will be made by Rivarola. And it was Cristaldo who got the last booking, so the referee, to be fair, we didn't get a shot of it, but he was booked, Cristaldo. Caniggia forward, well taken down by Rodríguez, who's exciting when he steps forward like that, but he didn't round it off in the grand manner.
Well, he is the one player in the Argentinian team who just find himself some space.
Our coverage of the South American Championships brought to you in association with Lucozade Sport. It's 0-0, it's 1-0, Argentina and Paraguay. The one goal scored by Batistuta for Argentina in the first half. And here is that man. Not seen as much of him in the second half yet, but he's one of those players, he can drift out of a game for 10 minutes, and then when he comes in to great purpose. Those are often the most dangerous players.
Yes,
I used to
are.
think that about Jimmy Greaves. You didn't see him for 40 minutes and he'd scored twice.
They seem to be at their most dangerous when they go quiet.
Yes. Paraguay. They've had perhaps the greater possession in this half. First shot that's come in, maybe. Way over the top, as it turned out, from González. González, the oldest man in the side at 30. Very experienced. He got sent off in the Libertadores Cup final against Colo-Colo. And the goal-kicking duties left to Sergio Vázquez. Oof, dear, not quite sure why, although he's found a colleague. Rather different. A lot of movement down there on the Paraguayan bench. So maybe the coach, Carlos Quisa, is thinking of a change. Well, they've certainly enjoyed a better half than they did in the first.
They've opened up quite well, John.
And, again, we apologise for what we hope is a brief loss of picture. It was from Concepción. There goes Carlos Enrique, cutting out defenders with that run. Eventually blotted out, and it means he's got to get back sharply now. Fine tackle. Good tackle, that one. Clean, just the way it should have been. And here they come, and this is where they're dangerous on these breaks. Caniggia runs straight into the defender, gets the ball back, however. He really is going nowhere now, except towards our camera lens. Argentina 1, Paraguay 0. The goal by Batistuta, and in fact 2 or 3 minutes after Batistuta's goal they might well have had it at 2-0. But Caniggia failed to play a ball into the path of the top scorer in this competition. But Paraguay have obviously picked up quite a bit since that goal. They've changed their tactics, they're getting more men forward. The danger being, of course, they might get caught on the break again.
Well, that's right, John.
Oh, good ball forward. This is an excellent ball, and cutting the angle. Goycochea getting across there. It was a lovely ball from González.
You see that what happens is they have no alternative here. I mean, if they're going to get something out of this game, they've got to go forward and get players forward. That's a nice through ball there. Just a little bit too heavy.
But if he'd cut it back, number 10 you see in your picture, Monzón was in the perfect position to strike. He's got 3 goals already, so he knows the way to the net. Here they are still. More encouraging moments these for Paraguay. Well, that will be a throw-in, won by Vázquez, the defender from Ferrocarril.
You see, you know, at the back of your mind, and obviously the Paraguayan defender will know that people like Caniggia and Batistuta, they only need half a chance to get a goal. So you're throwing people forward and you're trying to get this equaliser and you're trying your best. But at the back of your mind, you know, you just don't want to get caught again. If it becomes 2-0, it's the end of the game.
Certainly would be, especially you've got to remember Argentina have not conceded a goal yet in these competitions. Mind you, that was the first one Paraguay had let in when Batistuta scored, and away we come again with Rodríguez. There's a bit more pace about this movement. Basualdo supporting as the overlapping fullback down the right. Oh dear. Certainly the combination then failed to deliver, but Ruggeri gets in. He's the strong man once more. Now this is more promising. Rodríguez with that wide ball for Caniggia. Is there anything on the end of this one? It could be. Simeone gets the second. The touch, the mere touch of the instant. And Diego Simeone sends Argentina's fans into ecstasy. It's 2-0 here against Paraguay, who surely will not come back from this.
Just what we said, a lovely ball from Rodríguez inside the fullback. Caniggia's onto it, and he does the right thing this time. He plays it in early, one touch. And obviously it's a difficult ball to deal with. There's defenders there, it's at the back of defenders. And anybody can just get a touch, as Simeone did, and then it's in the net.
His first goal of the South American Championships. Simeone it is. There's the touch. The goalkeeper Chilavert can do little about it.
I don't think that Simeone got a touch on that, John. I think it was a defender who knocked that one in. The defender and the goalkeeper.
Well, it'll be certainly interesting. I think we'll probably see it again. Simeone, I have no doubt, will claim it.
Of course he will. He was in there fighting for it. He forced it. Why shouldn't he claim it?
It doesn't matter in a way, because it's 2-0 now. Just what you've been saying, Don, that while Paraguay were coming up, committing themselves, they had to do it, but there was that threat always that Argentina, with the players to do it, would break away and score a second. It's exactly what has happened. Sets us up, mind you, still, because Paraguay have got to put even more into it now. They'll redouble their efforts. And who knows, there could be further goals in this encounter. 2-0 it is. Suárez for Paraguay, trying to battle his way past Astrada and eventually committing the sin of bringing Enrique down. That will be a free kick. And Argentina very, very happy with life at the moment. When you look at their record so far, Venezuela 3-0, Chile 1-0, and now they lead here by 2-0 against Paraguay. It means that they've scored 7 times without reply in these championships, and that's a pretty good record.
They know what they're about, John, obviously. They know if they keep things tight, with the quality of these two front players, they've only got to keep things tight, and they know every now and again there's a good chance they're going to get a goal.
You can tell I didn't get my O-level in mathematics. It's 6 times, not 7. Here they come again looking for a 7th. In all.
You see, the Paraguayans are pushing forward, but you can't see where their goal's going to come from. You can't see who's going to do it for them.
They had the one good chance, didn't they, when the ball was cut back across the face of goal, and they just couldn't get in on the end of it. Again, it's knocked out by Ruggeri. And on the break again. Nicked inside from Caniggia. Oh, and this time, Batistuta unable to deliver the goods. Flicked over the top of the crossbar. And you'd have backed him there in view of his recent record. Again, they were caught on the break. Caniggia, the perfect pass.
Well, he does well there, gets his head up this time, plays it, just doesn't play it right and early enough. He plays with the outside of his right foot, but he doesn't reach there quickly enough for Batistuta. It just slows down a little bit there, and he has to rush it, sticks it over the top.
Batistuta seemed to just slip before he got the shot in as well. Maybe just lost a touch in momentum. There's Carlos Enrique defending to good purpose. And again, it will go back to Goycochea. 2-0 then, goals from Batistuta and Simeone. Argentina are in the driving seat. And it means that if it stays this way, Paraguay will then have to beat Chile in the last match for them to go through. But a victory here for Argentina will put them virtually certainly through. Bearing in mind they too have one final game to play against Peru. Venezuela already on their way home after their 5-1 defeat tonight in their final game. Here goes Luis Monzón. Score of 3 goals already in the championships, and here's a shot coming in and whipping wide of Goycochea's right-hand upright. Fair effort.
He seems to have the ability, Monzón, when he gets a ball, he can pick something up in midfield and run it there back for and play balls into his front players. He seems to have the creative ability to create at least a shot at goal.
Yes, he looks the likeliest one to break the deadlock for Paraguay, but they're 2 behind. They trail against Argentina. Argentina, who will suggest they are long overdue a Copa America triumph, having gone 32 years without one. But Paraguay on the attack. Too many blue and white shirts around, however. And I would have thought that Alfio Basile will be very well pleased at the moment with the way things are going, even though his side is doing most of the defending at this moment. Cross coming in, and Goycochea stretching, able to gather it in, bowls it out, and every time he's offside this time. Every time Argentina break now, the crowd getting behind them, and the crowd that in the first half was unsettled is now relishing this.
Yeah, well, they're playing exciting football as well, John. I mean, the Goycochea there, he's caught the ball, and within kind of 2 seconds, he's got it out to the right side of the pitch. It's then gone forward again into the space. Yeah, it's that type of thing that gets the people going.
Here they are once more. Rodríguez has made a difference tonight, I think. He's certainly done better than Latare did in his appearances. So the coach will be well pleased with the changes he's made. Here's Rodríguez. Well, was he brought down? Did he fall? Was he pushed? He fell. And without a push.
And there's a smile on his face because he knew he did as well.
You've got to say, Don, that the changes that have been made seem to have worked pretty well so far. Here's Astrada.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. I mean, Rodríguez, on what I've seen, he's a lot better player than Latare. No doubt about that.
And what about the other changes? Carlos Enrique coming in for Cravioto. And
things
Zapata.
fairly even there. I've been quite impressed with Craviotti. I think young Zapata is a lot livelier than Franco.
Right.
A lot livelier.
Yep, he has. 21 minutes to go in Concepción.
They don't know how to mark Rodríguez. They've got no idea how to mark him. He's the only. He picks balls up, and there's no one around.
We've certainly seen plenty of him, haven't we? He seems to have done a lot tonight. Exciting prospect, Leonardo Rodríguez. Scored 6 league goals for his club San Lorenzo last season, substituting both previous matches against Venezuela and Chile. Given his head tonight, and he's certainly taken his chance very well indeed. Ooh, and they're getting themselves into bother, and they might be punished here. Caniggia can go on and make it 3. Caniggia still there. Fine stop, but it's in the net. 3-0 for Argentina, and the man who claims the goal is Astrada. Wild celebrations now, and Argentina, who won their first match 3-0, look like winning this one by at least 3-0 as well. Caniggia did so much here. He checked beautifully there. It looked as though he was going to score. Fine stop by Chilavert. Nothing they could do about Astrada's follow-up.
And to be honest, John, I mean, Astrada is the anchor man in midfield. He's done well to get forward. They're playing so well now. Keeper made a good save, but the follow-up was super.
Well, he's a pleased young man, isn't he? Argentina delighted. Again, vindication of the team selection of Alfio Basile.
These new young players are doing well for Argentina.
Well, they are a much more exciting side than they were 12 months ago.
He sits there in front of the back four, Astrada, and he backs things up, and there he's expressed himself and come forward. Same with Zapata.
I think it's a little bit late, but Paraguay's coach has brought on Miguel Sanabria. He got a goal for him in the last match, but that was a very different kettle of fish against Venezuela. And a free kick here for Argentina, and to be honest, you can see them going on and getting another goal now. A bit like the previous match here this evening, where one side got firmly on top, the other side caved in a little bit, and Paraguay are in danger of doing that.
Well, when you're chasing the game like Paraguay, having to chase the game, obviously you're going to leave space. And if you leave spaces all the time, people like Caniggia and Batistuta will find those spaces.
And they are still in possession, stroking it around contemptuously almost now. As Fernando Gamboa warms up on the touchline, can't mistake him with the ponytail. Astrada, the goal scorer, the man who got the third one, battling for it, losing it, getting the free kick, however.
He's the new Ozzy Ardiles.
Astrada, yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Plays in a very similar fashion.
Just getting everybody playing around him, just giving it simple, being available, getting it back, giving it to someone else.
And getting the odd goal.
And in this case, yes, today.
Sanabria on for González. So we have two Sanabrias out there now. Vidal wearing 6 and Miguel wearing 16. Free kick, however, for Argentina, who still look to bring Gamboa on. Player from Newell's Old Boys. You'll remember him at Wembley in the 2-2 draw with England. And the free kick taken. Ruggeri. Did that ball go out? Carlos Enrique kept it in. It loses it now in the tackle. Paraguay have an enormous task ahead of them, however. But of course, all not lost totally for them. 3 down on the night, but they do have one game still to play against Chile. It was Basualdo who went off. Argentina very much in possession here, and now they have scored 7 goals without replying 3 matches, and that's an impressive statistic in any circumstances. Paraguay looking to prize them open just once maybe. That was a nice ball. Support here for Guirland. Now it's Peralta. That was a bit pedestrian, to be honest, and it gives Caniggia the chance to come. He's not pedestrian ever. Again, they look to make progress up that right side, and the free kick awarded. And that one was a bit of a dive in. I do like the way they go and help them to their feet again.
That's something that perhaps the coach would be aware of. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't sub Batistuta or Caniggia, because what he won't want is an injury now.
That's right.
If one of those two goes, he'll be aware that in the next couple of matches he needs them.
Yeah, be a good time to come off. One man who has gone off is Peralta of Paraguay, to be replaced by Cardoso. But here again come Argentina, going for a fourth maybe. There's a good effort. On the left foot, from this fellow we've been talking about, Leonardo Rodríguez. I would think everybody back in Argentina will be well pleased with his performance.
Well, he plays a nice little 1-2 with Batistuta, who's struggling, knocks him in the end, and he knocks it over the bar again. If he can get that shooting on the target. I mean, he's really enjoying himself, John. I mean, I would think he's loving this game. He's wandering around in midfield. Nobody wants to pick him up. He's nicked all together for Argentina.
Yes, he doesn't look like somebody who's playing only his third international match. And here we have Jacquet on the Argentine bench, who's going to get a taste of the action, I think.
It's too late now, but they should have tied him down ages ago. Rodríguez, they should have tied him down a couple of games.
Much too late. And that header on won't get through to anybody other than Goycochea. Goycochea, who really made his name 12 months ago in Italia 90, and a number of penalty saves, having taken over from Neri Pompidou after poor old Pompidou's dreadful mistake against Cameroon and then a broken leg. He really did have a nightmare. Goycochea's come in and really established himself as the number one. Ahead of people like Cancelarich, Navarro Montoya, who could have been chosen. That one's drifting aimlessly inside the Argentine penalty area. Paraguay still trying, to their credit. They've not given up. Ball touchdown of play by Simeone, scorer of Argentina's second goal. So the throw-in by Silvio Suárez. And Astrada, the scorer of Argentina's third goal, which really has clinched the points for them, is replaced by Jacquet. Don't think Astrada will mind too much coming off now. The goal really was a bonus for him.
He does a super job for them, though, John. He stops that ball into the feet. He's in a position where he plays in front of his two centre-backs. And every time the opponents try and play a ball into one of the strikers' feet, he's reading it and cutting it out.
The pass was cut out there by Ruggeri. Paraguay 3 goals down then. Still coming and giving their all. It's been a sort of a game performance, but they've never looked like scoring a goal. Having just said that, they might get one here. Goycochea ends in the back of the net. Nice little header. It was perhaps just going to drop under the crossbar. He certainly had to make the save. But it's the first time they've really threatened.
It was a nice far post cross. The new player who'd come on, Cambon, was out jumped, and it was back into the middle, and it could have looped over the top of Goycochea.
Cardoso's header. Corner kick for Paraguay. There haven't been too many of those in this game. Goycochea comes, can't get there. Goal for Paraguay. They've got one back. And that really has to go down to goalkeeping error on behalf of Goycochea. I think it's one of those big defenders who's got in there. It might well be Cristaldo, I think.
Comes out in a crowded box, obviously, and he's reaching for us in the end, look, and can't get there. And the player coming in challenges him, and he never got off his feet either, the keeper.
Well, the player who was taking a salute then was the substitute Cardoso. There it is, struck firmly into the net, and Cardoso is indeed the one credited with the goal. So Paraguay get themselves a goal, and that will lift their morale no end. It's Argentina 3, Paraguay 1. Cardoso, the substitute from St. Gallen. Well, it means we're going to have a fight to the finish maybe, or will Argentina come and look for a fourth goal? Whatever, it helps Paraguay's cause no end if it comes down to goal difference with the match against Chile coming up. But don't forget they do have 4 points. And Goycochea this time does hold on. Some derisory cheering.
It's good goalkeeping though, that's what you've got to do. I mean, if he comes out and make a mistake,
yes,
He's got to come for the next one at least. If he doesn't, he's in trouble.
Oh, Carlos Enrique's given it away. Paraguay could have got a second there. Really poor defending from Enrique. He let them in. There were two of them there, and that could well, if that had gone to 3-2, what a finish we would have had. There's a hole in that net, by the way, by the look of it.
It just feels as though the Argentinians at the back have gone a bit slack, John.
Yes, they've gone to sleep a bit here. Look at that again. They were too slow to react. And Paraguay willing to grab the initiative and try and get back into this one. Oh, here again, excellent running. And this time Batistuta trying to hold off the defender. And he's gone all the way with him. That's Rivarola. Might just win it back here. He does, in fact. Here's a cross, which is dealt with admirably. But once again, it was Rodríguez who made the first break. He's had a soup again.
Outstanding player, John.
Still Paraguay coming and looking for a second goal. Good, tricky work. Edge of the area, and Junta makes his first contribution as substitute, and a telling one. Batistuta, he got the first goal. It was a cracker as well in the first half, just when it looked like being a pretty drab affair. Now for a break through the middle. This surely might be it. Caniggia round the keeper, finishes it off, and that is good night to Paraguay. And Caniggia, so dangerous, exploits the mistake, and Argentina restore a 3-goal advantage. And it's turning into a feast for the fans here. They saw 6 goals in the first game in Concepción this evening. They've seen another 5 now. The defender slipped. Caniggia takes advantage. Round Chilavert and into the far corner. An excellent strike. Caniggia's second of the championships. And Argentina are home and dry at 4-1.
Once he's on his way, John, when he's running with the ball, how do you stop him? I mean, he can drop his shoulder and go to the right. He can drop his shoulder and go to the left. He knocks it past the defender. How do you cope with him? How do you catch him?
And that came just after Paraguay had got themselves a goal and back into the game. So all the thrills of the South American Championships here in Concepción. And we really have had a thrilling tournament so far. There's not been many poor games. There have been some excellent ones. And this is turning out to be a good one. Brought to you in association with Adidas, here on Screen Sport. The best of Adidas, the best of South American football.
I suppose, John, you think to yourself, well, if he was playing against England now, who could cope with Caniggia? You'd say Des Walker, Paul Parker.
The quick players.
Those would be the only ones, and they'd have to stop him running with the ball.
You'd have to devise some sort of defensive system.
Oh yeah,
well
what you do is you don't let him get turned, John. No. That's what you do. Once he gets turned and starts running at you, it's good night. You've got to stop him turning with the ball.
And if he can be successful in Italy, he can be successful anywhere.
Yes.
Let's be honest. He had a very good season, 11 goals in Italy, Caniggia, for his club Atalanta. And he's got 2 in these championships. Enrique's smiling.
No, he's smiling because the referee, Mr. Wright, won't take the throw from where he wants to take it to. He's saying, you can take it, but I'm not moving.
He's a referee who's a linesman tonight and wants to be the referee.
The cameraman's very aware of it.
11 goals then this evening here on Screen Sport from Concepción, and that's a pretty good output by any means. Might be more yet too. Here we come again, Argentina on the attack with Caniggia. Ooh, now he plays it contemptuously, doesn't he, out to that right side. This is where they enjoy themselves. Paraguay want a second of their own, so they're coming at the Argentine throat again. Lining himself up, too many men around him surely here, but he's still got his shot in, and eventually it trickles harmlessly through to Goycochea, who's been beaten once and won't want to be beaten again.
Well, the game's got the crowd going, Jim. I mean, they're enjoying themselves. You can tell in the background they're having a good time, the crowd. And they have seen some super individual play, no doubt about that.
I would think actually the Argentine coach He'll be disappointed to have given a goal away at all. I know it's 4-1. I think he'll be a bit angry about that goal that was conceded.
Yeah, and he'll be proud of his clean sheets. He'll be proud of the record, John, and rightly so.
He's got a clean sheet anymore because of Cardozo's goal. The substitute for Paraguay. He made it 3-1, but then Caniggia got the fourth. It's 4-1 with 5 minutes left in Concepción. Lobbed in there. Booted out by Ruggeri. Down from Batistuta. And again, Paraguay refusing to throw the towel in. Lining himself up for a shot maybe. Turning it left. Good approach play from Paraguay. Can they round it all off with a second goal? Answer is no. The man in the way was Gamboa. Here's the ball upfield for Batistuta. Danger again to Paraguay's defence. They're funneling back now. As Batistuta takes it, I think he'd like to get a second goal in the match, but he won't get on the end of that ball. From Caniggia, who does the right thing, however. Simeone gives him it back. Lovely football here. Caniggia just unable to round it all off with a fifth one or with a good cross. But some excellent football.
Some nice football around the Paraguayan edge of the box. Nice little touches.
The sort of thing we never saw from Argentina last year.
Well, obviously they're full of confidence now, John. I mean, when you're playing as well as they're playing, and doing all, and the running off the ball is superb as well. Everything is going well.
Yeah, Batistuta was calling for it too. Shows everybody wants the ball. Oopsie daisy. The referee will come on and sort out this bit of acting. A few Oscars being awarded here. Carlos Enrique and the fuzzy Cardozo. Simeone stumbled really, I think, there. Didn't appear to be a great deal of contact though. So
the referee said it was a scissor tackle. I mean,
sissy tackle, did you say?
Yeah, scissor. Yeah, no. He made a shape with his two arms as though he's making a scissor movement.
Oh dear, look at that. There's a pat on the head. Get up please, and over you go. Argentina lead 4-1. That's the important statistic. And good value for it as well. What it does mean is that we'll show you Group A at the end of this game, but Argentina will go to the top of this group. They'll have 6 points at the top of Group A, and they've scored 8 goals against only 1 conceded. Paraguay's goal difference has taken a bit of a hammering tonight. They've now scored 7 against 4. Chile, they also have 4 points, and Chile have 4 points and a goal difference of 6-3. So I think the Chilean fans will be absolutely thrilled to bits with Argentina's performance.
Yes.
It also will demoralise Paraguay a little bit before the last game against Chile.
I would think the South American bookmakers, John, have made them firm favourites now, Argentina, to win this competition.
Yes. And I would have thought that Chile have become favourites to go through from the group with them. And that Paraguay and Peru will follow Venezuela home. The referee pointing towards the Paraguayan goal, so it will be a free kick here for Argentina. Can they get a fifth? Every goal helps. It all helps the confidence, it helps the statistics in terms of goal difference. The whole championship could be sorted out on goal difference and goals scored. And this is the next opportunity that Argentina will have to add to their tally. Hoisted into the middle. Out inside the last 60 seconds. Carlos Enrique there to make the tackle. And, Sanabria. Miguel Sanabria, the substitute, leaving it this time for Suárez. Paraguay themselves would like a second, but they lose possession in a dangerous sort of area. This is where they can be exploited. But, will be belted straight back upfield by Ruggeri, the Argentine captain. He'll be a very happy player. Argentina haven't lost with him in the captaincy role. I would think that both coach and captain will be well pleased with Argentina's performance tonight, and there'll be celebrations back in Buenos Aires.
Oh, I think so.
On the other hand, it'll be fairly quiet back in Paraguay. The ball is lofted rather hopefully in. No great purpose behind that cross. Goycochea spotted that fact, claimed the ball. And the final whistle not long delayed now. So Argentina have kept their record of never having lost to Paraguay in the South American Championships. It could be their 14th victory in 17 matches against them. And so many of these South American games seem to have those sort of statistics where there is an Indian sign over one side. Don't have the belief in themselves, maybe. Oh, that looks fairly theatrical too. Free kick given for the foul on Zapata. And Ruggeri, I'm sure, will say, come on, don't do anything silly now. More important to keep it at 4-1 than make a mistake. Simeone. Still come forward with purpose, but at the end of the day, it's been a convincing performance, this one, from Argentina. And without question, Don, a quick comment, a deserved victory.
Oh, easily. I mean, a super performance on the night. You've got to give them credit for that. I mean, once they got it going, I mean, the first half an hour of the game was ordinary. But once the goals started to go in, they got confidence and played the type of football that they can play.
And at the end of the day, it's Argentina who have beaten Paraguay by 4-1.
Well, we're catching our breath here back in the stadium in Concepción. What a night of goals. What a night of action here on Screen Sport. And who, before kickoff, could have imagined that full-time scoreline? Argentina 4, Paraguay 1. Don, this is turning into one of the best Copa competitions ever. We've now had 39 goals from 14 matches in week 1. And who says South American soccer is all about cynicism and safety first?
Oh, without a doubt, you're dead right, Phil. It's been very attractive, it's been entertaining. I mean, the game tonight, for the first 30 minutes, it looked as though it was just going to be another solid do-up performance by Argentina. But once they got in their stride and started to score goals, it was lovely to watch. No doubt about it.
Those are the match statistics. 5 goals in the second of tonight's 2 live games.